Hello, once again, boys and girls, and today we are going to wrap up Act 2 of Romeo and Juliet, playing a game that I used to love as a child, Crazy Taxi. This was originally an arcade game that at one of the restaurants as a kid I used to go to, and I absolutely love this game. Again, it has nothing to do with scenes 5 and scene 6 that we're going to kind of combine today and talk about, but I just think it's a great game. So, Act 2, Scene 5 is a short scene, only 4 pages long, and it's a scene that only features Juliet and the nurse. And in this scene, it opens with Juliet kind of by herself, having a little soliloquy where she's kind of complaining about the nurse. She is sent, remember, the nurse in scene 4 was sent out to go find Romeo to find out about marriage. And so, where scene 5 picks up is the nurse just kind of, or is Juliet waiting on the nurse to return. And she's just kind of complaining about the nurse. She's like, ugh, she's so old. Why is she so old? She should already be back by now. I want to know if I'm getting married. And just on and on and on and on, being impatient about the nurse getting back, and it's just like, God, chill out, girl. Like you'll live. Um, she'll get back when she gets back, but she's like, oh, why she gotta be so lame? So eventually, the nurse does come back, and there's a very sudden shift from Juliet when she comes back. You know, she's kind of two faced in this way, where once the nurse comes back, she's like, "Oh, good nurse. How is it, nurse? Do you have my news? How is Romeo? You know, and all these kind of sweet things that she wasn't saying when the nurse wasn't there. So the nurse is kind of on to Juliet's game somewhat, and is kind of like, oh well, I, I don't know. Oh, I'm feeling tired. I'm kind of, I'm out of breath. And Juliet's like, how are you out of breath? You haven't even said anything. And so it's again kind of one of these comedic moments that Shakespeare likes to add in. This is where the comedy aspects of Shakespeare get added in. And eventually, the nurse does tell Juliet, okay, so you are going to get married. Um, and how they're going to do it is they're going to go to Friar Lawrence's cell. No, that is not a jail cell. This is kind of his, you think of it, office. Again, if you're Catholic, um, it's where you would go for confession because the nurse asked, have you had confession yet today? So basically, the plan is Juliet's going to sneak out for quote unquote confession, and instead she's going to go get married. Now, what's interesting about this plan is, the whole idea of them getting married in Friar Lawrence's eyes is that it's going to bring peace to the families, which is fine. But how are you going to bring peace if nobody actually knows that you got married? So that's scene 5. Scene 6, very short, only 2 pages long, and in scene 6, basically all the scene is Romeo and Juliet get married, and it's the ceremony. So in this ceremony, it is only the Friar Lawrence, the nurse, and Romeo and Juliet getting married. And Friar Lawrence says one thing here that, again, is kind of some foreshadowing in this, a bit of dramatic irony. He says these violent ends have violent delights, and usually when you love too quickly, as in the case with Romeo and Juliet, that these usually don't end well. And he references, if you have too much honey, it's going to give you a stomach ache. Well, we know at the end of this play that Romeo and Juliet are going to eventually commit suicide. So it is foreshadowing, and it's Friar Lawrence warning, hey, wait a second, like, y'all kind of got married pretty quick. Maybe you shouldn't do that. So that is scene 5 and scene 6. So after you read those, there is a quiz for you on Socrative. Please make sure you go ahead and take that. It is multiple choice. And we will start Act 3 tomorrow. This has been another edition of Romeo and Juliet with video games. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.